Watched recently the myth, the legend, undoubtedly the greatest political comedian, not just from San Francisco, but in America, Mr. Will Durst! Michael Pritchard, more than a comedian! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the water-soluble audience. It's an unusual day here in Golden Gate Park. My name is Will Durst. I'm a political comedian, which means sometimes there's nothing going on and I'm screwed. But not now. It's been such a great year for everybody except the insurance companies. I mean, first, can you imagine being the insurance company, you know, who had the insurance on Mel Gibson's mouth? I mean, and then BP, we're looking at the largest pile of toxic sludge that hit American shores since Ann Coulter's latest book. Whoa, wrong crowd, who knew? Didn't it seem like they were just making stuff up? Yeah, we're gonna fix it. Yeah, we're gonna put a box on it. Yeah, and then mud. We're gonna use mud and rocks and golf balls and old tires and pantyhose filled with human hair. And then we'll put a hat on it. You got Toyota, who's had 4 recalls this year involving acceleration problems. And they insist on clinging to their corporate motto, which is moving forward. Yeah, apparently, even when you don't wanna. Dick Cheney had a 6th heart attack and he lives. I know, he's so evil, hell keeps spitting him back. No, we don't want him. You hang on to it. No, we're full. Yeah, a lot of construction going on down here. I'll tell you what it is. My wife's parents are in for the weekend, and the pipes froze. How does a guy without a heart have 6 heart attacks? It doesn't make any sense. It'd be like Gavin Newsom contracting a brain tumor. People, it doesn't. Well, look at the time. And now Dick Cheney doesn't even have a pacemaker. He's got wires coming out of his heart to a battery pack that's outside. He has to charge it every night. So here's to a statewide blackout in Wyoming. I'm doing what I can. The hardest part being a political comic is getting rid of your old stuff. And George Herbert Walker Bush was so good for 8 wonderful years. He was like a father to me. And it was only love and hate. I mean, there was no in between. I watch the national news every night so that you don't have to, and you owe me money, man. It is so depressing. Not the news, because the news is, what it was, and what it forever shall be. It's the ads. Because apparently the only people who are watching the national news are the sick and the dying. Have you noticed all the ads are for Flomax and Prevacid and Lipitor and Cialis, people with leaky pipes or clogged pipes or pipes that need extending. It really seems like some sort of plumbing outreach. And they have to throw all the bad shit that can happen to you if you take this drug into the ad so they're twice as long. And then they're happy about the side effects because they don't want to depress you. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, headache, nausea, flatulence, dizziness, dizzy flatulence, weight loss, weight gain, prickly heat, hives, chives, weird rashes on the inner thighs, involuntary muscle spasms, cement-like bowel obstructions, anthrax, dysentery, distemper, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, flesh-eating bacteria, explosive diarrhea, chlamydia, anal leakage, leprosy, clock elbow, nickel dick phobia, cat scratch fever, Ebola, elephantiasis, brain cloud, cholera light, total partial paralysis, partial total paralysis, total paralysis, death-like coma, near death, death, taxes, salmonella, and fatigue. And if you feel, if you have any suicidal thoughts or actions, consult a doctor. He's the guy who gave me the shit. They have this one drug for Aricept. Aricept's an Alzheimer's drug, which you are required to take 3 times a day. And the ad has Grandma and Grandpa picking the kids up at the train station, and Grandpa says, "Hello, Janie." And the little girl goes, "My name's Julie." And Grandma turns to the camera and says, "That's when I knew Bob had a problem." He screws up one name. They're taking him away to the home. My lovely wife, Debbie Ann, and I have been married 29 years, 6 of the happiest years of my life. No 2 weeks contiguous. And I don't regret one day. And that one day I don't regret was a Tuesday in May of '84. Because she was passed out. But! What, you think that's an unusual circumstance? But I have forgotten her name. I have gotten panic introduction disorder. You know, this is my lovely wife, Debbie. And he forgets one name. We don't know the backstory. Maybe the family's one of those criminally cute families. Everybody's named Jay, Justin and Jason and Judy and Julie and Jonathan and Jennifer and Jeremy and Jim and John and Jack and Joan and Jean and Jane and June and Jamal. Top 10. So I'm watching the national news, and for 8 years, Bush would be on the TV, and my wife would walk past and see him on the TV and go, "Huh." I like George Bush because he's like me. My point exactly. He looks like a guy I could have a beer with. Yes, but we had to take away the car keys. And McCain looked like a guy I could have a Metamucil with. And maybe with Barack, we could all share a 40. I hate liberals. I'm kidding. Barack doesn't drink. Muslims don't drink. I'm kidding. He's not a Muslim. Communists don't believe in God. I'm kidding. He's not a communist. He's a Democrat. Which is like a communist who can't get anything done. Oh, come on, they're useless. I know they didn't invent the circular firing squad, but you gotta admit, they perfected it. Why do you think they're so intent on passing the stem cell bill? They're depending on that research to generate a spine. It's tough to do jokes on. He is. I mean, tell jokes. Christ, I can't even see him. The halo is still too bright. He was born in Hawaii. He was born in Kenya. No, he wasn't. He was born in Hawaii in a manger. We all know that. He was visited by the 3 howlers, who presented him with gold, frankincense, and point. And he raised healthcare from the dead. He didn't just raise healthcare from the dead. The band, the Grateful Dead, gave him credit for bringing them back together after they split. He raised the dead from the dead. That's good. But they have been on his ass since day one, man. The teabaggers. And I know we're not supposed to call them teabaggers. That's a pejorative. Like, it's my fault you named your political movement after a euphemism for gargling testicles. Yeah, suddenly that's my fault. I'm the bad guy. For Christ's sake, what came in second? Democracy's cornholers? I mean, how far down the list was freedom's felchers? I mean, we don't know. You shouldn't even know what felcher means. And I'm convinced some of this is racist. People, there's some folks just never get used to the fact we are now being governed by a black guy living in public housing. A half black guy. Half black, and isn't that just like America? Yeah, we can elect an African-American president. But first, I don't know, why don't we try out a half black guy? You know, like a starter Negro. A hybrid, baby steps. We work our way up the Ving range. Gonna get medieval on his ass. Of course, you know who plays Barack in the movie? Tom Hanks. I mean, they yelled at him for using a teleprompter. Everybody uses it. Sarah Palin, when she yelled at Obama for using a teleprompter, she had notes written on her hand. You can't make shit up like this. What is that but a 5th grade teleprompter? That's a teleprompter for people who can't read fast. I love Sarah, I do. For those of us going cold turkey on Bush, she's like a double dose of methadone. Every 2 weeks with her there's something. Every 2 weeks, she's like Republican herpes. She is. But I mean that in a good way. You guys have been great. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for not